I think a lot of people are doing a very good job until it becomes difficult and until something goes south. And I feel like a lot of people in general have a very difficult time when it comes to navigating hard times. And I also used to be one of these people. I also used to break down as soon as something doesn't really go my way. But then I got older and I kind of started realizing that there is a way to fix this and there is a better way to stay consistent and navigate these sorts of things. So the first thing that I implemented to kind of avoid these kind of burnouts is that I always aim for the best, but I always expect the worst. So for an example, I always try to do as good of a job as I can, and I always try to kind of aim towards the thing that I'm trying to aim for, but I always consider the chance that nothing is going to work, and that is actually kind of in my opinion, the most frequent scenario, because mostly when you're going to try something new, it is not necessarily going to work. So whenever I pursue something or whenever I go into something, I always consider that the more likely scenario is that it's going to fail. And then if it doesn't, it's kind of like a pleasant surprise almost. So I kind of just go into things always expecting that it is going to get rough and that it is not always going to be just sunshine and rainbows. And that has actually helped me significantly because I think a lot of people struggle with the fact that they're overly positive. So they always think that things are going to work out, that oh, I'm going to get that money, the money is going to come through, I'm going to pass the test, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But in the reality, a lot of the things that you're going to try to do are not going to work out. You have to become a little bit more comfortable with failure. So yeah, I mean, I also used to be this person that is overly positive, that always thinks that everything is going to go my way, and then as soon as it doesn't, and mostly it doesn't, then I kind of break down and I just kind of stop doing the thing entirely. So nowadays, I always expect that it's not going to go well, that everything is going to go to shit, and then I have a system in place. And this system is basically the thing that I'm going to aim for, the thing that I'm going to try to do, and I just keep on doing it regardless of what happens, and that has helped me a lot when it comes to these kind of things, and especially also when it comes to making content, because it can be very demotivating making content, especially at the beginning stages of you making it, because nobody's really going to pay attention to you. On top of it, you're going to be making shitty content because you don't really fully understand how to do it, because how can you be good at something that you just started? So I build a system. I decide what is it that I'm going to do, on which platforms is it that I'm going to post these things, and then how frequently am I going to make videos or whatever is it that I'm making. And regardless of how I feel, regardless of how my day went, I do the bare minimum at least, and then I'm satisfied with the day and I can move on. So for an example, with this video today, I did not really want to make this video at all because I've had a shitty day. I'm not very enthusiastic about anything today because I'm basically starving and I'm just waiting for tomorrow so I can finally eat something a little bit more. But I made a promise to myself and I set a goal. The goal is to make a single video for YouTube a day. And I do that regardless of how is it that I feel, regardless of how is it that my day went, regardless of what is it that I have going on in the background. I'm always going to sit down at this specific time and I'm going to make the video. And that, I think, is going to be the driving factor for a lot of people succeeding with whatever it is that you want to do. Because as long as you stay consistent, as long as you have prepped your mind for it always going wrong, and as long as you kind of have this guidance in your mind, what is it that you need to do, it becomes significantly easier, because then when everything does go south, because it will 100%, you are 100% going to have a shitty day, then at least you don't really need to think about oh, what is it that I need to do, what is it that I don't need to do, what is it that maybe I can do later. Well, no, I mean, you have a very clear blueprint. What is it that you're going to do today? What is it that you have to finish during the day? And regardless of what it is that you have going on, you are going to have to do this thing. And that does help a lot. I think it makes stuff significantly easier. So yeah, that is my approach when it comes to navigating hard times. I just have a system in place. I always expect that everything is going to go bad, because it will, and I just kind of do things based on that. Other than that, today has been a absolutely horrendous day. My mind works in a very odd way, which actually makes being consistent even more difficult. I would hyper focus on the smallest of things. So for an example, I can get a little bump on my face, I can get a little zit or something, and that can absolutely fucking ruin my day for some reason, because I have this kind of a personality that I hyper focus on very little and insignificant things. So I'm going to get a pimple and I'm going to be like focusing on that pimple for like the next 3 hours. And that also kind of leads me into this kind of like weird mental place where I start negotiating with myself, which I should not do. So for an example, today I decided like I think I decided like 3 to 4 times that I'm going to have a cheat meal. So I made the decision today that I'm going to have a cheat meal today, like 4 times in a row. And then I just at the end of it said, stop, no, we are not doing this today, we are doing this tomorrow. And I didn't have the cheat meal today, I'm going to have it tomorrow. So that is kind of something that I sometimes struggle with because I feel like a little bit unstable when it comes to like my motivation, and the only way that I'm able to keep myself motivated is basically by just kind of telling myself to shut the fuck up. And then, as I previously mentioned, I do have a system, I do have specific goals that are very clearly set, and I just keep on following them, regardless of how is it that I feel or regardless of how is it that I'm doing. So yeah, it's not easy to do stuff. It is actually very, very difficult to do anything that is a little bit out of the ordinary. So if you do want to do something, have a system. Don't break your promises that you make to yourself, and just keep on going regardless of what is it that you need to do. So yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. My day is pretty much over. I'm going to watch a little bit of TV and then I'm going to go to bed, and tomorrow is finally going to be a nice day because tomorrow I'm finally going to have a cheat meal. So talk to you guys tomorrow.